yeah, combining all those practices, I find psychedelic coaching to be a good way to combine all of those practices where we can,
And I don't know if you had this experience too, but the more important is your intentions behind the experience prior to even doing it. It's like before you have a mindset of, okay, I want to find my true inner self. I have some type of therapeutic goal in doing this, where others may just use it just to have a good time, which again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Behavioral Health Integrations podcast strives to inspire the next generation of mental health and addiction specialists. Our aim is to continue to raise awareness and encourage collaboration in the mental health and addiction industry so that it will continue to thrive. There are numerous approaches to treating mental health and substance abuse issues. On this show, we take pleasure in showcasing the diversity of these approaches used to improve the lives of others. So without further ado, your host, Jacob Menig.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Behavioral Health Integration. Today, I have the great pleasure of meeting with Alexandra. Alexandra is a psychedelic-assisted therapy advocate. For Alexandra, after many years of working in supportive roles in the parallel to her own self-discovery, she wants to help guide other people heal from their trauma, their suffering, and moving towards a greater purpose in life with the use of psychedelic-assisted therapy. In this episode, she will discuss how she started her journey in her work with psychedelic-assisted therapy and what really motivated her to, again, help others discover this amazing journey with psychedelics. I, for one, am truly excited to get this episode started. So without further ado, let's begin. Well, again, Alexandra, thank you so much for being on the show. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, and from what I get is that you're calling us from Portugal?
Yes, I am originally from Greece.
Okay.
I'm not from Portugal. Born and raised in Greece. I left home when I was 18. Now I'm 27. So I've been on the road for about 9 years. I've lived in England. I've lived in Colombia.
Wow.
I've lived in Mexico. And now I live in Portugal. And in between, I traveled in many other countries, places, continents, seeking point of life.
Can I say I envy you because I'm 36 and I've only ever lived in Minnesota in the United States. Oh, yes, I've vacationed other parts of the country, but actually I've never left the country.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I really admire people like you who will just go out there and just do and experience new things like that. It's so cool.
Yeah, well, I always, different things happen for different people. I'm definitely behind on other areas that people are, the ones who stay at home and they work on different aspects of themselves, different aspects of their lives. To me, going abroad was my biggest priority. I just wanted to get to know the world, get to know myself through the world, through people's stories, workshops, just experience, really.
Was there a particular reason why you wanted to move to Portugal?
My husband.
Oh, there you go. That's a reason.
He's not from here. He's from Lithuania.
Okay.
So also a very international person and life he has. But yeah, Portugal, especially, we live in an island in Madeira.
Wow.
It's really next to Morocco, Africa. Geographically, it's in the middle of the ocean.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I could show you the ocean right now if you want.
Oh, man.
It's a beautiful island full of nature. A great place for psychedelic retreats, by the way.
I'm sure.
And really in demand. There's retreats in general, not just psychedelic. So I think there will be loads of retreat spaces coming up in the years to come because this place is gonna become huge.
Yeah.
Some people predict it will be the next Bali. More and more people get to know Madeira and there's more tourists every year. So yeah, that would be a good place. Plus, as you said in the beginning, Portugal has decriminalized psychedelics since a few years ago. They're still not legal. You still cannot tell people to go get psychedelics and you will still get caught. And so I'm not, the thing is, because I'm starting on the field now, I haven't been in contact with people who do it here. I know there's many retreats in Portugal, in mainland, not only in Lisbon, in other places as well. And I'm pretty sure that after the Netherlands, people come to Portugal in Europe for psychedelic retreats. But I personally don't know too much about them.
So what's the island that you're on? What's it called again?
Madeira, Madeira.
Okay, I gotta look that up. Like, is that a goal of yours to actually start a retreat possibly?
Ooh, maybe in the longer term. I'm trying to take it really slow.
Yeah.
So, yes, so the shorter term goals are to start with preparation and integration.
Yep.
Because I've been working generally with, I'm obsessed with having an examined, self-aware life. So I've been working with journaling techniques, journaling prompts, review questions, self-assessments, life assessments, progress reviews, like inspiring people to keep tracking and analyzing and checking where they are and what they need to get to where they want to be. So psychedelics is just an extra modality that can get us there. So I want to start there, and in the future, we'll see. I definitely feel the need to sit with more teachers. Latin America has been my favorite place in the world ever.
Okay.
So it is a place that I potentially would like to come back to, and maybe, get to know different indigenous traditions, see if any of them resonate with me, if I'm called to actually become a facilitator, and then kind of go from there, take it step by step.
Well, if you're ever curious, I know people who do retreats or have started them. A gentleman named Michael Thornhill on my earlier podcast episodes, he has a retreat.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's good.
Yeah, if you ever need any help, whatever, let me know and I can connect you too.
For sure. I'd love to connect.
And if you also want to check out the episode too, it's really good insight on how to start one.
Of course.
Yeah.
Which one is that again?
His name is Michael Thornhill, and I could send you his information after too.
Yeah, perfect.
Share it with you, and yeah.
Perfect.
So just curious, like, what made you get into psychedelics in the first place? Was it more of curiosity or more of, hey, I really think this can help me with my everyday life type tasks?
Good question. So I think because my main preoccupation in life was to figure out the point of it all, my purpose. A big reason I studied psychology was to understand what's behind human motivation, desires, thoughts. Why are some people considered crazy? Why do some people get addicted? All those things. But a bachelor's in psychology did not answer many of those.
Yeah. I'm a master level clinician. I hated undergrad psychology. I hated it. If you would have asked me back then, would I ever be a therapist, whatever, I'd be like, nope, so boring.
Exactly. When I went into my first lab, I thought I was in the wrong class.
Oh my God.
I'm like, is this psychology? I was supposed to do like distributions and use SPSS and use statistics. And we do. It's a science after all, with all the software and everything. And then I realized maybe the study of the mind is not where it's at, or maybe it's not the whole picture. So that's when I went into meditation and yoga. Well, I had a small awakening, let's call it, in meditation.
Okay.
I was going through a period in my final year of university when I was really stressed and I felt like I couldn't cope with all the studying. I wanted to run away, and nothing was helping. Counseling was not helping. Xanax didn't help. I was prescribed by a psychiatrist and it didn't help. I tried cannabis. It didn't help. It's not my favorite medicine. And I thought to myself, this is my last resort. I need to make this work. And I'm going to follow all the instructions. I'm going to sit here like the Buddha. I'm going to focus on the breath and I'm going to sit here until I feel something. I was like so determined that day that for the first time I experienced that, I'm not my body. I'm an energy residing in it. And, I just felt the separation for the first time. Because before that, I used to identify with what I would see in the mirror. And I felt really present for the first time. I felt immense gratitude for the fact that I'm alive. I'm alive in a world that's alive. We live in a perfectly synchronized show. Everything is constantly breathing, the trees, the birds. And then I was like, okay, so meditation works. Let's explore that. So I went to India because that's what you do.
Nice.
And I accidentally went into a yoga retreat. I thought there would be
Wow.
like half, I thought it would be 50% yoga, 50 meditation.
Yeah.
It was half an hour meditation, 4 hours of yoga. So then
Oh,
I got
wow.
yoga just because I chose that. And then I kept practicing yoga just to tap into meditation as a way to access those states again. So I was, I kept traveling. I kept going to workshops, exploring human consciousness, exploring the question, who am I? Joining feminine circles, healing ancestral trauma, all the cool stuff. I started exploring because all I wanted to find was, what is this all about? Who am I? All those big existential questions. And when I read about psychedelics, I immediately felt called to them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, there's something here.
Oh, yeah.
Back then I didn't even know what it was I was looking for. I didn't have a name for it yet. I just had like an itch.
Yeah.
I have to go somewhere and find something. There must be a lot here
Yep.
in this, in consciousness. So yeah, I was reading about psychedelics. I was really, really intrigued. And then when I was living in Colombia, I actually got to try with some of my closest friends.
Really?
They were incredible. LSD at the time. I had tried MDMA before. But MDMA is like in the borderline of being considered psychedelic or not. That was really beautiful as well. Many teachings from many of them, and I didn't pay too much attention until, a few years later, I felt stuck. What am I doing with my life? I've been doing a job I was not enjoying before. And then I was like asking myself, what do I really want? So one day it came to me, I answered the question with, what do I want? To self-actualize. And psychedelics is the means to that end. One of the many, right? Because meditation is, yoga is. But yeah, to me, it just feels like psychedelics in coaching or in therapy or in our lives in general bring together so many aspects. Like we can work with our mind, with our body, with the sacred, to connect us to our ancestors, to the sacred, to how a remembrance of how we came here. What is this all about? So yeah, combining all those practices, I find psychedelic coaching to be a good way to combine all of those practices where we can,
I don't know if you had this experience too, but the more important is your intentions behind the experience prior to even doing it. It's like before you have a mindset of, okay, I want to find my true inner self. I have some type of therapeutic goal in doing this, where others may just use it just to have a good time, which again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had many conversations about this. Sometimes even people call me too much, or, that I'm being too strict about it, because I am really almost obsessed with having an intention with everything. It's like, what are we here to do? What's the end goal behind it? Why are you doing it? I used to call psychedelics investing brain cells because they're potentially dangerous. So I was like, we need to make this work. We might go crazy after. It might be a bad batch. You didn't know what LSD you were getting before having test kits and all that. So you have to trust that you would remain sane after. So having an intention is absolutely crucial. And this is something that now with the psychedelic movement, the way it's going, so many psychedelic coaches doing this work, we all emphasize the importance of the intention. Otherwise, yes, they are just a good time you had once. But psychedelic experiences can become the day that you pivot and then you start on a different path altogether. You actually break through those limiting beliefs. You actually start implementing those habits. You actually see your vision and then start walking towards it through a bunch of steps and modalities and so on.
Yeah. I tried my first trip actually 2 to 3 weeks ago. I tried psilocybin for the first time. And it was great. I don't know if you've ever tried that.
I don't have too many experiences on psilocybin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, no, like, so my intention was to, again, trying to find, like what you said, like spiritual meaning, like make it clinical, make it therapeutic. Where the person I was doing it with, she just wanted to have more of like a good time. So like I still had a great experience, but again, there was also that interference with her part.
Yeah.
And again, I always find it to be really beneficial if at least the majority of you are all on the same page when, again, going through an experience like this.
Yes, absolutely. I actually had a similar experience on LSD.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, because my friends were like, chill, just have a good time, just laugh, just this, just that. I'm like, but I don't have LSD often. I want to savor, and I don't want to have it often. Like, I really savor the experience. So I want to make it count. I'm like, no, I want to reconnect with my mother. So
the person I was with, she's done it a good amount of times before, so she had more experience, and this is my first time, so I wanted it to be like special.
Yeah, for sure. That's why, as they say, set and setting. I mean, you had the mindset, but the setting could be, I guess, optimized next time. It's having people that you trust. If it's not.
Huge.
And sometimes we cannot not all afford a guide or a therapist or a coach to be with us. So to at least have friends, as you said, who are on the same page, friends that we know really well, that they're really close to us, maybe even our partner, whoever we really trust, because you also don't want to be with people that you just met. Yeah. And then you start getting paranoid again, or
that's so funny that you said that, because my friend Laura, who I did it with, whatnot, she told me how like nice this was because she actually trusted me in this experience, because she doesn't like taking a certain amount either by herself or with people she doesn't know because of that danger factor.
Of course. Yeah, that's really important. Plus, the environment that you choose, and so on. So many factors. You eliminate distractions. You don't want to receive post on that day. You don't want someone to knock on your door.
Yes.
You don't want anything to break,
See, I heard that's okay if you're like microdosing though, which is like depending on like a half a gram or whatever, because you're still like somewhat conscious, and people can even like go to work, go throughout their daily life tasks while, again, microdosing.
Yeah. So with microdosing, it's just as a rule of thumb, because it takes some time to calibrate your dose and to realize what's too much, what's too little, and what's kind of optimal. Yep. So you don't want to have an unpredictable day on the first week or even 2 weeks of microdosing. Better experience it, because sometimes it does take time I'm actually experimenting with microdosing at the moment.
Oh, nice.
And I'm still figuring out what's the best dosage and to track when am I the most productive. I'm doing it for creativity, flow states, productivity, to actually do work. So I need to know, for example, am I going to feel the subtle effect? So to plan recording the masterclass or creating the product and all those things. So it does take a lot of time to actually figure out what's the dosage.
If you don't mind me asking, what are you microdosing with?
Mushrooms at the time. Psilocybin.
Psilocybin? Okay, nice. Yeah, it's weird because like my buddy Rich, who's also been on many shows with me too. He's like, I remember that night right before I messaged him like, hey man, I'm gonna do it for the first time, and he's just kind of guiding me through it. He's explaining what it might look like and what dose I should take and whatnot. And he mentioned the waves. And I don't know if you can relate to that. But again, because I'm like excited but nervous, I'm like, oh my God, like, what the hell are the waves? What is he talking about? And over the cloud and everything. But then like when I like took the dose, I kind of understood what he meant, because he kind of mentioned it's like you want to take just enough to get above the clouds so you're not into the waves right away, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you have a scale, 0.1 to 0.3 of psilocybin mushrooms is considered a microdose.
So what is that? Is that like a one mushroom stem or two, or how?
Because mushrooms are so diverse, so it depends on the breed, on the size, on so many things. So I do recommend you get like those super precise scales for jewelry, I think, that are really, really sensitive. And that you can just measure. You can use the whole mushroom. You can use the stem and the cup flower. But yeah, just by using a scale is the best way to go. That's why those waves, I've tried bigger doses of psilocybin mushrooms before, but they were not too big, but they were also not micro doses. But because of those waves, I feel like I haven't gotten so deep with my journey. And I still say to people, I don't know much about mushrooms, because I really think, and I can't really work with something I haven't experienced much of myself. I believe, you wouldn't hire a mountain guy for a mountain he's never climbed, because you don't know what you're going to find there. So it's the same with working with psychedelics. Well, with MDMA and LSD, I feel more comfortable because I've had more experiences with them. So yeah, with microdosing now, it's interesting. It's taking me a while to really calibrate. Yeah.
So reading on your profile, you also have something very interesting, and I don't know if you connect this with your psychedelic work, but you call it like the hero's journey, and you have like everybody has their own hero's journey, right? Can you elaborate on yours?
Sure. I love the hero's journey. I love how Joseph Campbell puts it. I love his language. I love the mythic. I want to have a mythic life. Who doesn't? I want to believe, fairy tales exist. So, like all this seeking, my quest for point, purpose, happiness, it included many countries. As I said before, I've started with psychology. I went to yoga and meditation, then loads of personal development and psychedelics. So, and in every stage of my life, there has been teachers, friends, allies, enemies, and out of every single one, you take something and they define you. Like, I often refer to life as a domino effect, because we wouldn't be here now if that thing hadn't preceded and the thing before that. And so it's a really special recipe that leads to who we are and what we become, all those tiny choices and battles. So my hero's journey, I used to be a bit more of a hippie than I am now.
Okay. Yeah.
Spiritual gatherings. I even thought of like talking to a shaman when I had taitas, basically, because I had done it in Colombia. In Colombia, they call shamans taitas. It's just a different name. And instead of ayahuasca, it was actually yahe. They're similar, but yahe might be a little bit more intense as well. So after that experience, I even considered, maybe I should be an assistant and, work with the medicine and all that. But I was completely up in the clouds. I was not really grounded. It's as if I was working with the higher chakras way more than and even someone from my ceremony told me that I need to live in both worlds and that I need to also stand on earth and not just be up there. And that was really interesting, because what showed up in my path later was a really deep self-development workshop in Peru, that it's all about happiness and belief systems and the choices that we make. And that completely changed my life 180 degrees. I always wanted to be young, wild, and free. And I ended up engaged in the workshop after 3 months of variation. I started, instead of, I wanted to start working more with my feminine side and try to be like a nurturing wife for a bit. I started exploring many different roles that before I wouldn't even consider, because what that workshop taught me was that if you cannot say certainly that you are happy in the end of every day, then one or many of your beliefs do not serve you. If we're not happy, it means that we believe some stuff that just, do not serve our happiness. I don't know how else.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I thought I was going after my dreams and doing everything I thought I wanted, but I wasn't happy and I wasn't fully fulfilled. And then I decided that I will choose the opposite, because there's parts of me that want to sabotage me and to self-destruct. And many times, for example, it's really common these days, people to take the role of a victim because they receive love and they receive attention and they don't have to do much. People just give them things. And I was doing that in a large extent. And then I decided, no, I don't want to be a victim anymore. I want to take full responsibility of everything that happens in my life. Everything is my fault, because if it is, then I have the power to change it. So I learned many of those things about claiming responsibility, how to reframe scarcity into abundance, the happiness work, beliefs that serve our happiness. So that was a huge part of my journey. And then, yes, COVID happened. That was a time of stagnation. I felt stuck. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I felt a bit powerless. And after a few years, I decided, I don't want to stop. I don't want to wait for things to happen anymore. I want to start creating them and refinding psychedelics and finding that I can use psychedelics in my work and weave them into my practice. That just really fueled, where I am now, going into this training program, incorporating them in my work and all these things. So I have been working with journaling systems as a coach / mentor.
Okay.
But now I'm kind of rebranding, because I used to make handmade individualized journals for each of my clients, full of like coaching plans, routines, schedules, morning and evening rituals, habits, beliefs. But that was taking far too long because I was making handmade journals for each client. So now shifting everything to be digitally and online. So yeah, with psychedelics, it's just gonna be a more wholesome service.
So just to clarify, so you're going to school or training in coaching, psychedelic coaching?
Yes.
How long is that going to take? Or
it's a 6-month program. It's going to finish in September. So I'm about halfway.
Okay. And can you help my audience understand what is the actual difference between a coach and, let's say, a guide in psychedelics?
So I think I covered that in the beginning, didn't I? So a guide or a facilitator, both words, same, are people who will be there during the trip, during the client taking psychedelics. A coach is not going to be present during that. They will be working with the client in preparation and in integration.
Okay, yeah. So differentiating between the two.
Right. A guide or a facilitator, both of those words are used interchangeably, are people, professionals who will be present during the psychedelic trip. So it's a next level trip sitter. Let's start there. So a trip sitter is someone, it could even be a friend, someone who's not qualified in many cases in any way. They're just there to offer support, to offer the essentials like blankets, tissues, water, something that the person that will be might need. Someone who has ideally done the psychedelic before, so they can assist, provide support, provide, maybe a hug if it's a friend, and, they have consent to touch the person. A psychedelic guide or facilitator, same word, is someone who has training of some kind. They might be a somatic coach. They might offer like embodiment techniques. They might be a breathwork facilitator. They might offer that. If the client starts stressing out, going into paranoia during the trip, the facilitator can offer techniques to assist. They might often use sound healing. They might curate a very nice playlist. They are way more, they know more how to be there. And they will definitely be crucial in the experience as a whole, because they might ask good questions, they might provide good answers. They have a lot of information about psychedelics. They can inform the clients beforehand how this is going to go, what might happen. For example, the physical sensations,
Yes.
the hallucinations, the visuals, all these things that someone might not be familiar with. Also, they might normalize weird experiences, like someone re-experiencing their own birth or talking with spirits. A guide or a facilitator can inform the client on those because they have the training and the knowledge to do so. So that's that. And then a psychedelic coach is someone who's not present during the experience. Mm-hmm. Normally, they prepare the client for the experience with working with intention, working with their goals. What are you there to resolve, right? What are you going to work on? They might clear out things beforehand, such as limiting beliefs, such as they might have worked through traumas, so that those will not come up during the psychedelic experience, or that they work on them even further. And then the most important part of psychedelic coaching is the integration part. Mm-hmm. The integration is practically 80% of the experience, because, they really help the client integrate, put into practice and into real life language and practices, exercises, all the insights downloaded in the psychedelic experience. So the coach will be working before and after, maybe for weeks or months before and after with the client. The facilitator or guide will probably be just present during the experience. That said, many people can do both. Some people do choose to, both train into coaching and facilitating. I actually had a conversation with a fellow coach the other day, and she said she realized she's been preparing people for psychedelic experiences for so long. She's been building that relationship with her clients. And then she was sending them off to a stranger, even though she trusted them. But it felt and ended up being much more valuable for her clients when she was a facilitator, because they already had a relationship. They trusted her. They had disclosed so much of their lives. So many people end up doing both in the end.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you would recommend someone be their guide and their coach at the same time.
Should I go with the person I just mentioned?
Yeah.
So Lauren Muggleby. But of course, there's far more. I'm training with the Third Wave. There's a huge directory there of coaches, facilitators, people who can assist. So people can definitely find more information there.
Is it thirdwave.com or something, or
.co?
Thirdwave.co?
.co, yeah.
Great information. And I don't know about you in Portugal and everything in the communities there, but do they ever get like negative views on psychedelics, or what's the word I'm thinking of? Just people don't really acknowledge it for its benefits?
Oh, you mean having negative experiences on them, or people just having
just the society just looking at it, it's like, oh no, that's just negative stuff, it's not going to work, or it's bad for you, stuff like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, Portugal is still, as far as I know, the local, it depends on also the age group we're talking about. Some people can still be quite conservative about it. I live in an island that's full of digital nomads. It's like a digital nomads hub here.
I cannot wait to Google your island. It just, again, it sounds so beautiful.
It's really nice. Come visit.
Yeah.
So, I do interact a lot with people from all different countries, speaking in English, not Portuguese. So, I'm not too familiar. I do feel like I live in a bubble in a way.
Okay.
With the nomads, and most people are self-employed, there's many coaches of different kinds here.
Really?
Yeah. So, when I'm having conversations with those, like that group of people, most of them will be open to it. They will have tried psychedelics before. But speaking to someone who has never left Portugal, maybe someone who's, I don't even want to define the age group because I don't really know. But yeah, say older people, definitely after 40 probably, who never left this island, are probably going to be more conservative about it. It's not something that people talk about yet here. It's just us, the foreigners.
Yeah. Well, like on the island, you said you're kind of bubbled up. Like, so the people that are there are more self-employed, but is there like a lot of different cultures and races that kind of all live together on the island?
It's really international, yes. And it's really admirable that the locals' level of English is really good.
Wow, that's so cool.
Loads of tourism, and it's and it's really nice that Portugal is becoming a place that foreigners choose to live in permanently. While, for example, in Greek islands, people tend to go for vacation, for holiday, but not just move their whole lives there. While here they do. Even though I heard that Athens will be the new Lisbon. It's going to be the hub. But I'm not too sure what's going on. I really left 9 years ago and I just visit Greece now, just visit my parents.
How do they feel about you living on the island?
They just have no comments anymore because I've lived in so many places.
Yeah.
They do want me to be in Europe because it's closer to them.
As you get older, or?
Yeah, they just want, even though they almost never come to visit, they're not fans of flying. It's me who's going to go. But they're like, you never know. What if I do want to come? Then I can come. Well, now, actually, my husband and I want to migrate to Canada. We would like
really?
Well, maybe not migrate, but I would love to study more if I am to really go into psychedelic therapy path. Then doing a master's in counseling psychology in Canada could be a good idea. But so we're exploring. We'll see.
Yeah, that's great. No, I've actually interviewed a couple of people from Canada and psychedelics too. There's a big organization up there on psychedelics. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
That's one of the many reasons. Like, I would love to be part of that community, attend the conferences, the retreats, co-create with other professionals. Because in US and Canada, it feels like they will be a bit more ahead than Europe, the psychedelic.
Well, I know MAPS, they're doing a lot of research on MDMA, and I think it has been approved after finishing the last research. So again, I don't know what the next steps are in FDA to get it approved for like interventions, but yeah, they are kind of moving along pretty good. So
yeah, we'll see. I might be in Denver for the MAPS conference this June.
Oh, really? In Denver?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, yep, crossing the fingers. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, no, those are just all amazing, awesome, great goals. And again, you have my full support in anything you do. And I had a wonderful time with you. I loved learning about your story and everything. If any of my audience members do want to get a hold of you, is there a particular website, email they could use to make contact with you?
Well, my website is in the works because I'm finally moving in the digital world. As I said, I used to make handmade journals.
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to be working digitally way more. So yes, LinkedIn is a great place to connect with me. And also my email, which is my first name dot my last name @gmail.com. So it's going to be difficult to spell out my last name, so you can just copy paste it.
There we go. We can do that. And again, that information will be in my show notes. So it'll be one click away for all my audience members.
Thank you so much.
And again, Alexandra, it was an honor and pleasure hearing your story, your experiences in the matter. And it was an awesome time having you on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really honored to be on the show. Thank you so much for reaching out. I truly enjoyed it as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I again want to give a special thanks to Alexandra. It was an amazing special episode and she was an awesome special guest. I cannot wait to have her on my show again soon. I just want to thank all my listeners for your support and just to inform everyone that the information expressed in this episode was not meant to be taken as therapeutic advice. If you do find yourself struggling with any type of mental health or addiction issues, please seek the care of a medical doctor or a licensed mental health therapist. And if anyone has any further questions for me, you can reach me at my email address, behaviorhealthintegration121@gmail.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn at Jacob Menig, where you will find more educational posts on psychotherapy, trauma, and addiction. And finally, you can follow me on my website, which is behaviorhealthintegration.org. I also want to inform everyone that there is a great new device out there called CalmiGo. It's a breathing device meant to control and manage your breathing rates and the depth of your breathing as you inhale and exhale to, again, help relieve any type of anxiety and stress-like symptoms. And if you do put the BHI podcast into the promo code, you get $30 off this amazing device. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and you will not be disappointed. All right, everyone, until next time, have a good day. Bye.